What's going on, guys? Unofficial MCU here. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, we have our official Spider-Man No Way Home breakdown here for the brand new trailer. It just dropped last night at the time of recording this video here. So we're of course going to go through it and break it all down here for you guys. There is some very exciting and cool stuff here coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe this December. So without further ado, we're going to jump right on into it, break this whole thing down frame by frame. Another thing I think I should mention is that there's a lot of theories and speculations going on as of right now. We're going to touch a little base on a bit of some of those here throughout today's video here with the breakdown here. And then, of course, I plan to do separate videos diving a little more deeper on into with evidence and all of that type of thing here, going a little more deeper into some of those theories and speculations here for what we did see here in this overall trailer. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. We dive right on into the trailer here after getting a little bit of a glimpse here of all the different action sequences within this overall trailer. And then of course we get that Spider-Man No Way Home official trailer logo. After that we get a glimpse at Peter Parker, Tom Holland, in the rain. He looks to be in distress, of course. He seems to have beaten something or have gotten into a little bit of a tussle here with one of the Sinister Six villains here that of course will be appearing here within this upcoming film here. Now there's a little bit of a theory and speculation. I said I'm not going to dive too deep into these, but this very well could be after the death of Aunt May. That's something I'm going to touch on in a separate video and maybe a little later on throughout this video. We then get to hear about Tom Holland, Peter Parker's past here, a little bit about being bit by the spider here, and how pretty much his entire life, ever since being bit by that spider, has been filled with mourning. These shots here of MJ and Peter running away here are directly taking place after the events of Far From Home, after Peter Parker's identity is revealed from Mysterio. They're clearly on the run here, running throughout the city here, and then we get a glimpse at them on the top of a bridge here, and then later, of course, jump off of that bridge as we hear MJ screaming. The next scene, however, after this is something that really flatters me, and before we move on to that, I do of course want to touch on this. Here's another saying here that we got here from the teaser trailer initially of that whole relationship, I guess, that's going to be going on throughout this film with MJ and Peter. So they're clearly on the run here. We do know from the teaser trailer that they eventually do get caught. How that happens, don't exactly know. This scene right here is very important here, however, as it seems to be a direct reference and parallel almost to the Tobey Maguire movies with Spider-Man 3, as we have Tobey Maguire Spider-Man swinging throughout these subway tunnels here underneath the city. This is something that happens in Spider-Man 3, and we do get another one of those parallels except to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man here in just a moment as well. Now this here of course happened after Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, went and beat up Sandman and got his sweet revenge on him after he found out that he was the one that supposedly killed Uncle Ben. More shots here that we saw in the initial teaser trailer kind of sums it up here. Is pretty much Peter of course goes and finds Doctor Strange here to help him with a spell to help him get everybody to forget that he is Spider-Man. And what we do know is that spell does go pretty wrong here and messes up a lot of things, as the multiverse of madness essentially is unleashed here, and it's essentially the cause for having all of these villains here come into this universe. Now we get that little snippet scene here of pretty much what is the birth of these different parallels, and also want to kind of notice there a purple background is going on there, and that's something that we do see here at the end of the trailer when Doctor Strange says that they're coming through. Now that there's a very exciting part of the trailer, and I cannot wait to talk about that, so we're going to get to that in just a couple of moments here after we get the rest of the rundown here. The bridge scene here seems to be a very huge scene, or a very big moment here in this movie. For whatever reason, there's been a lot of stills and images that have been released here, of course, upon social media. I shared them on our Instagram and official MCU, link down in the description down below, of course. But this here's Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin throwing one of his bombs and blowing up the bridge here, essentially. And then after that, we get another look here at the Dr. Octopus's return here. Now, this scene right here of the introduction to Green Goblin coming into this scene here seems to be important because you already noticed that the overall bridge here seems to be in a little bit of a shambles here for one thing, and also one of those two gray cylinders here is something that we do see a little later on here in just a few moments here in the trailer that Doc Ock actually picks up to swing at Spider-Man, so that there very well could be a signature right there saying that this is taking place after Doc Ock versus Spider-Man, and Green Goblin is showing up to the party here a little bit late. Throughout this overall scene here, I really like here because Doctor Strange is essentially explaining to Spider-Man about how all of these different villains are coming into their universe, except that they're from different universes and a part of the multiverse. Now this suit right here has a lot of theories and speculations. That black and gold suit we're going to talk about here in just a few moments. This is something also I think I'd like to make a separate video on and dive a little more deeper on into here. We do get a look here, of course, at Dr. Octavius versus Spider-Man once again here on the bridge. Remember those green cylinders, those green or gray cylinders I had mentioned rather earlier on is something that we're about to see Doc Ock actually swing at Spider-Man in just a few moments. Now this here, of course, was a very iconic scene within that first teaser trailer. Hello, Peter there. That there happened at the end of the trailer, and to see that we're getting this at the beginning of the trailer says a lot about what's to come here furthermore. Now, there are those gray cylinders being swung at Spidey right there. Absolutely no idea where they're really coming from. It seems that they're being pulled off of some sort of truck. There's at least one of them, so a little bit of a detail there I've noticed, I guess, is that this scene is taking place before we do see Green Goblin. I guess that Green Goblin's going to be showing up a little late here to the party. And then right before he gets smacked into the wall here, Spider-Man gets smacked into the wall here by Doc Ock, he unveils himself and takes off his mask. He's saying, hey, I think you got the wrong guy. And then, of course, we have Doc Ock say, you're not Peter Parker. So he's clearly confused and knows a different Peter Parker, which would be Tobey Maguire from his universe and those earlier on Sam Raimi universe Spider-Man films. Something else I don't want to miss up on is the fact that we get a glimpse here at Doc Ock and his octopus little tentacle things. They seem to be covered up in red, and this is something that we do see in that beginning sequence here, is the octopus arms being covered up by red, which is a signature for Iron Man and resembles a lot of the nanotech that Iron Man used. So of course we very well may get that another glimpse here at the nanotech and Stark tech, so to speak, coming back here once again for this upcoming film. This next scene here honestly unveils a whole lot what's going on here in this film between Doc Ock and Spider-Man. It almost seems that they form a relationship and are actually friends. Furthermore, I want to note out here what Ned is wearing here in this scene. Pause it right here real quick and we'll see how Ned is actually wearing a Leatherman jacket, of course, and on that has the U of M Michigan logo on there, which is a signature for not only my hometown but Sam Raimi's hometown, where he grew up here in Detroit, of course, and he is a director here for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, which is a furthermore little of a tease almost, I feel like, here that we very well be getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this upcoming film. Honestly, throughout the entire trailer, there's a lot of different references, like the train tunnel scene there I had mentioned at the beginning of the video is a almost parallel to Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire and him swinging through the subways. Yeah, that's something you guys might actually notice here with those different parallels. There's also a very large parallel at the end of the trailer here, of course, that is referencing Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man here. We're going to talk about at the end of the trailer here, of course. And like I had been mentioning, Doc Ock and Spider-Man's relationship here throughout this overall film is going to be very interesting, I think. I think that they're going to befriend each other for one thing. I think they're going to become friends because that there is why Spider-Man seems he wants to go up against Doctor Strange and run away with whatever that weird cube thing is. And I do have a few ideas and theories on what that there exactly is supposed to be. Also, must I mention that Ned, for one, is holding a crossbow, which I found very, very weird. And that whatever basement we are in here looks a lot like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man's basement here that we saw in the Amazing Spider-Man film. Here is what it looks like, and while it's not completely identical, they still look very, very similar in my own thoughts and opinions. This whole scene with the Statue of Liberty here seems to be, for one thing, where a huge showdown battle is going to go on, for one thing, and it's very, very important with some details with the Statue of Liberty that I have noticed here with a Captain America shield being built on there. It's something very, very important that we're going to discuss here towards the end of the trailer. So something also I had mentioned earlier on in this video is it seems like Spider-Man is going to be sent on the task here to essentially go on and find all these various villains here and essentially collect them. As I mentioned, he needs that cube thing in order to collect all of these different villains and trap them within this cube thing. Something very much like the Ghostbusters do when they're ghostbusting ghosts out there and they trap them into these little ghost cube things to hold them inside. He's clearly by these power lines, of course, because he's looking for Electro, and Electro is going to be by the power lines. For another thing, we notice here that he is blue in the background, but later on we see him in his new costume design. I have a few theories and suspicions on what that there very well could be. And so with that, I also think it's going to be a little bit of a mixture with some of Doctor Strange's magic, which is exactly what this suit seems like it's for. And for that, I also think it is also going to be used here to essentially protect against Electro's lightning bolts and that type of thing, as it's like going to be like a shock resistance type of suit here is something also I think it very well could be used for. But more or less, it's like a magic suit essentially, and he's going to be using Doctor Strange's magic here in order to help him collect all these different villains here that are on the run within their universe. I definitely think it's a pretty cool looking suit in my own thoughts and opinions, and I can't wait to see a little bit more about it here and how it exactly really is going to work here. Doctor Strange in this scene right here makes a Scooby-Doo reference when I actually still haven't been able to figure it out. I don't know exactly what it is. Scooby-Doo is owned by Warner Brothers, not Sony or Disney, so it's a little weird that they kind of throw this in here. I have absolutely no idea what it really could be, aside from maybe unmasking villains and something like that. So essentially maybe unmasking not only the villains from their different universes here, but also maybe unmasking the 3 Spider-Man here that are heavily rumored here to appear within this upcoming film. And not only rumored, but it's almost like we're getting full-on hints here at the Spider-Man appearing here in this upcoming film here, so maybe unmasking them, because that's something that happens at the end of every Scooby-Doo episode. That's just a little bit of a far-fetched theory out there, I think, but hey, it's a little bit of a theory out there, so just gonna throw that one out there. It could also be a very odd reference, I think, maybe to Doctor Strange himself, as in he is the villain, you know, hinting at Doctor Strange, evil Doctor Strange within the What If series, maybe, although I really highly doubt it. I'm gonna stick to my theory of unmasking those 3 Spider-Man and the other villains within this upcoming film here. Now we have more of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, you know, taking a stroll here through these power lines. Of course, we're getting this film this Christmas and December here. I think it's going to be very exciting here. And then right here, we get another shot here. This was a shot from the original teaser trailer of Electro making a touchdown type of storm here, mixing with maybe Sandman in some sort of weird way. And this here is our first shot here of J. Jonah Jameson here in this upcoming film, as the other one seems to be from the Far From Home, and he looks absolutely amazing. He's looking up there at the clouds here, I'm presuming at Electro / Sandman, telling off of this next scene right here. This scene right here seems to be having Sandman and Electro working together in order to create some sort of distraction or storm and type of mayhem, I guess what villains do. Here is more of Peter Parker swinging through the power lines. I'm guessing he's looking for Electro. I'm not exactly sure why he's doing that so much throughout this trailer. And here we have more of that relationship building between Doc Ock and Spider-Man here, as he is telling them how they all die within their universes, such as when Doc Ock dies in the Tobey Maguire universe, and same goes for all these other villains. And it is something that is true. All these villains seem to have died in their own universes, which is very interesting, you know, and how they're going to tell that story of how they come to this universe and they're still alive. This scene right here is a direct correlation to what I said at the very beginning of the video, with Spider-Man there in the rain, seeming very hurt and crying here, that there very well could be the death of Aunt May. He seems he's jumping at this bomb in order to protect her and catch it and throw it somewhere else here in order to protect her, and maybe she very well may die. It's just a little bit of a theory out there. It's not being rumored or anything like that. A little bit of a theory and speculation out there. And here we get that little tussle scene there between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, as he says he's going to take this box here, essentially the little Ghostbusters box that's supposed to trap all the villains, and then go off and hide and run with it, I guess. Here we have Doctor Strange pulling an absolute money move on him as he whips him down with his magic and makes portals that makes Spider-Man catch him in the air by his own webs here, and then pushes him out of his body like we see Doctor Strange do in his own movie. This is something that we did see in the first initial teaser trailer. Definitely looks like a really interesting scene, and I cannot wait to see this upcoming scene here. It's going to help Peter understand the bigger picture here for sure, and furthermore, it seems to be more tension here going on with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man looking for another way in order to make this all work here, and find some sort of, I guess, somewhere in the middle in order to have them all work together and maybe even become friends here with all these villains, is something that Spider-Man, I feel like, has always done throughout this overall MCU. Something that we see in the first Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Homecoming, when he tries to protect Vulture and then Vulture injures himself, of course. The same thing happens in Spider-Man Far From Home, kind of, where he tries to kind of, you know, protect Mysterio and warn him, and he does end up killing Mysterio in that one. And this next scene here, it's very interesting because we have a glimpse here at nanotech essentially covering up Doc Ock's arms right here, which is something very interesting. There's a lot of theories and speculations going on for that, whether it's just simple nanotech here or if it's something greater, such as that little bit of a theory and suspicion includes maybe the villains getting these new MCU-like appearances the longer they stay within this universe. It's something I want to touch on in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. I've got to spend a quick minute here talking about Jamie Foxx and his character. He looks absolutely amazing, and he is the man. The actor himself, Jamie Foxx, is absolutely amazing, as he's the one that initially has sparked up all of this joy and excitement, rumors and speculation surrounding Spider-Man No Way Home here, regarding when he first started production, and he shared an Instagram post regarding how excited he was for this upcoming film and project, with a photograph including Electro facing off 3 separate Spider-Men. The picture, of course, was immediately removed afterward it was being posted, and nonetheless, it still sparks a lot of joy and excitement here for this upcoming film, and those rumors very well seem to be coming true here. Now, moving on to the rest of it, Jamie Foxx's appearance looks absolutely amazing, very comic accurate, and way better than that blue. It's really Jamie Foxx, and it really yells at. I think it looks really amazing. Now, right here, this scene is very important because we have Doc Ock falling from this building as he seems to be getting blasted from Electro. So I definitely think we're going to have a Doc Ock and Spidey team up, which is something that we do see in those animated TV shows, and I think we see them a little bit here in the comics here and there. So something like this in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. This whole scaffolding scene with the Statue of Liberty here scene is coming up here, and we're going to take a look at that in just a minute here, as there's a lot going on with it, especially towards the end of the trailer here. But something that we noticed right here, I paused it right here real quick, is this the same costume that we do see in the PS4 Spider-Man games? It's just a little thing that my little brother actually threw out there. I really don't think so. It still seems like he's wearing gold with the Iron Spider suit there on his suit, but might as well just throw it out there. And then again, here we have Doctor Strange chasing Spider-Man down, of course, as he tries to take the cube thing, and I definitely think that's going to be a really interesting scene for this upcoming film. Now, this here's an absolute money shot right here of Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Oh my gosh, he looks absolutely freaking amazing. I think him and Electro's Jamie Foxx is going to be kind of like those main leaders of this upcoming Sinister Six if Doc Ock very well does decide to join Spider-Man, and I just cannot wait to see the interactions between all of these different characters and from these different universes, because it's something that we never really got to see initially. While we get a glimpse right there at Green Goblin, we have another new one right here as he's flying through the sky. However, he doesn't seem to be wearing any mask, and that sparks a lot of theories and suspicions if this is a new Green Goblin, such as James DeFranco's Green Goblin, or if it's somebody completely new portraying the Green Goblin, if it's a different variant, or what might be going on here. It's very interesting. More theories and suspicions yet to come from that. Now, we have what it seems like Happy Hogan being arrested. It's going to be a definitely really interesting subplot here, I think. Not that the film necessarily needs it, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to be doing within this film here, as he has some heavy ties, for one thing, with Iron Man, and it seems like Peter Parker is taking on that, I guess, role here of Iron Man, and it's going to be very interesting to see what he has to say for this film. Now, we are nearing here the end of the trailer. The absolute money shots and upcoming crazy scenes are coming up right here. You guys are going to notice right here, this here is the same, like, circular spiral here that we get when Doctor Strange first sets off the initial spell that essentially breaks the universe, the multiverse here essentially, and lets all these villains within. So maybe he's doing it once again to maybe try to get them back in to their respected universes, so to speak, but nonetheless, it's very difficult to tell. And furthermore, it seems like this year, of course, this whole end battle, it's going to be taking place by the Statue of Liberty, which as of right now, at least in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're building a Captain America shield along to go with it in order to honor the legacy of Steve Rogers, and furthermore, the legacy of Sam Wilson and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Can't wait for Captain America 4. Now, like I had mentioned, we're getting into the absolute money shots here of this upcoming film here. In the trailer here, we have a standoff, which seems to be 3 out of 6 of the Sinister Six here for this upcoming film here. Jamie Foxx's Electro, the Lizard, and Sandman all make their returns right here in this Statue of Liberty / scaffolding type of fight here that's going off here at the end. Also, should I need to mention, this here is low-key a money shot right here, if I ever. We then right here in this scene have Peter Parker telling Aunt May that he can't save them all, so of course he's gonna need a little bit of help here in order to defeat all of these villains here. Cough cough, Tobey Maguire / Andrew Garfield making their comebacks here as their Spider-Man very well for this final battle right here. We're gonna talk about that in just a moment here. Also, should I mention right here, this scene right here is very, very important. As you guys all notice, we have Sandman, Electro, and the Lizard all coming at Spider-Man in this scene here. For whatever reason, in the Brazilian version trailer, they forgot to edit out something very important that might be our full-on giveaway here for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield appearing here in this film. That there would be in the Brazilian trailer, we have Lizard, he's getting punched by nothing. Unless Drax is appearing in this film, he's getting punched by nothing in this trailer, which would only be explained as Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire were edited out of this overall trailer. So that there, aside from the two parallels, one we're about to talk here about MJ falling right here, is a direct reference and parallel here to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man when Gwen Stacy is falling off of a building. Unfortunately, she doesn't get saved, and it was really depressing, especially for 9-year-old me, quite honestly. Notice right here the Captain America shield that I've been mentioning throughout this trailer. It's very, very important to this end scene right here for the trailer because it's falling. Notice how it's falling, and this here is after all the villains are already here surrounding Peter Parker and taking him on right here. 3 out of 6 of those villains right here, and we already know that the other 2 have already come on in here. here. Slight a little warning here, spoiler warning here for the end of Venom 2 here, but we also know that Venom is also going to be canon here to the Marvel Cinematic Universe right here. This here was the scene I was talking about with Andrew Garfield making his save here for Gwen Stacy, and it just didn't exactly go through. It was really depressing, quite honestly, so it's a little bit of a parallel / reference over to that there as well. Same thing goes for that train scene there for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man there at the beginning of the trailer. Now, let's take a little bit of a deep breath here. Why is this Captain America shield falling so dang important? I know I kind of skimmed by it pretty dang fast right there. It's very important because you'll notice it falls after we have all the villains there are already there. It falls, and then in this next scene right here, we have Doctor Strange taking a look at it and saying that he can't hold them back anymore. Who are you trying to hold back? See, right there, this money shot here of the Statue of Liberty, the shield's already fallen. It's already fallen. Who are you trying to who are you trying to keep out? The other Spider-Man would be the obvious reason in my own thoughts and opinions, because we already have all the villains. They've already come through, unless he thinks that more are coming through. That's who he thinks are coming through. He thinks that more villains are coming through here when they're already all there. They have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are coming through this portal instead, because that shield has already fallen in this scene. So with that, we can tell that it's taking place after all the villains are already there, and that shield, the Captain America shield, has already fallen off of the Statue of Liberty. Now, it sounds a little bit confusing, but do bear with me. I'm going to go ahead here and we're going to play all these shots the way that they're shown in the trailer here. This might very well be the confirmation for those other two Spider-Man appearing in this film. So we start with this right here. We have Doctor Strange setting off the spell once again, it seems like, in an effort to bring all of these villains back into their respected universes. And then right here we have three of the villains coming at Spider-Man, including Lizard, Elektra, and Sandman. And then we see that MJ is in trouble. She is falling, okay. And then Peter Parker, Tom Holland, is going after MJ, okay. In this scene, he dies after her. Mind you, the reason she's falling is because of that shield was falling during Peter Parker's fight with those three villains up there at the top. Okay, stick with me. Between this shot and this shot, they play a little bit of a logo here for Spider-Man No Way Home. And then in this shot right here, we have Doctor Strange saying, I can't keep them away, I can't keep them through, they're coming through. What do you guys notice about that shot right there? The Statue of Liberty doesn't have the Captain America shield because it's down there on the ground, because it's already fallen. Who else is coming through? We already have Venom in this universe, we already have Green Goblin in this universe, we already have Doc Ock in this universe, and then we have the other three guys. That there might be our money shot, low-key, for the official confirmation of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire making their way into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also, should I mention, when Doctor Strange is saying that, we have this scene right here. Notice those three lines there in the sky there for three Spider-Men. Even though Tom Holland is already in the MCU, still, it might be a nice little kicker, a nice little reference right there. Guys, this here has been absolutely insane here, and we're this dang close. Now, furthermore, I do want to clear up a little bit of theories and speculations right here. This here is regarding the overall trailer itself. Now, a lot of rumors and reports actually said that there was two official trailers for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, one was from Sony and one was from Marvel. In this case, we got the one that was from Marvel because in the case for the Sony trailer, it would show that money shot of all three Spider-Men all officially confirmed here and giving us that first real look of those other two Spider-Men within this universe. I could honestly ramble on and on about this overall trailer, even though it's 3 minutes. I made it somehow like a 20+ minute video right here regarding the entire thing. It's been an absolutely amazing time, guys. Thanks so much for watching all the way up until this point. If you are still watching it, I've had an absolute blast making this video for nearly the last hour at this point I've been recording, so it's pretty dang long time. Guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below, guys. What do you guys think about the Spider-Man No Way Home official trailer, guys? What did you guys notice about this upcoming trailer here, and what do you hope to see in this upcoming trailer here? Do you think we're going to get official confirmation of the other two Spider-Man appearing here in this film, or do you think they're going to save it for the film? I honestly, personally, in my own thoughts and opinions, hope that they do save it for the initial film here, because just imagine that theater hype. Everybody's screaming in the theater when they see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Guys, it's going to be absolutely amazing, guys. I cannot wait to see this upcoming film. And furthermore, as I mentioned throughout this entire video, we have more videos coming on some theories and speculations, touching on a little more with some other stuff here regarding this overall trailer here, and diving a little more deeper on some theories and speculations for this overall trailer. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't already to be notified
when those videos do come out. Guys, thanks so much for watching all the way up until this video, guys. It means the absolute world to me. As I had mentioned, I've had an absolute blast making this video. Check out our Instagram, unofficial MCU, for more Marvel-related content, and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as it really does help the channel. Guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, remember, with great power comes great responsibility. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.